Previously on Survivor Branford. After surviving the final 5 but seeing his ally Kate go, the final immunity challenge meant everything to Tim. Conversely, Andy, Cameron, and Dylan knew that as long as they could play keep away from Tim with the immunity hat, their spots in the final 3 were set. For the 3rd time in a row, Andy ran away with the immunity challenge, which seemingly put the final pieces of the season in place. With no other options, Tim turned to his original Nutmeg tribe mate Dylan and asked that Dylan force a tie vote and a firemaking challenge. Feeling funny about Dylan's intentions, Cameron and Andy considered defensive measures such as voting Dylan out with Tim, or having Andy hand immunity over to Cameron to dissuade the others from forcing fire. At Tribal Council, Cameron's worst fears were realized, as both Andy kept immunity and Dylan flipped, which set her and Tim up for a fire-making showdown with one final spot in front of the jury available. A very interested audience is prepared to watch 4 become 3, and then 3 become 1, as Survivor Branford crowns its 11th champion. Who will it be? Find out tonight. I'm gonna count you down. 3, 2, 1, begin. Neither Tim nor Cameron rushing, both arranging their wood in the way they think will work best. Tim the first to go for his matches, but that one won't strike. Tim with a flame this time, but nothing ignites. Cameron going all in on the structure building. Tim the first to have flame. And Cameron not only now has fire, but also a solid looking structure. Hard to tell Cameron's progress. We know there's a flame somewhere under that log cabin. Tim's fire's growing. Cameron's flame is either being smothered or is about to explode upwards. Tim steadily increasing his fire. And Cameron's structure is fully ablaze. Cameron's fire wearing away at the rope. She may be just a few seconds away from the final Tribal Council. Tim has some catching up to do.
It's windy! Oh, it's so windy!
All this smoke is forcing the jury to evacuate. Cameron's doing her own version of a stop, drop, and roll.
Come on! Go in!
A fitting last act of Season 11 before the final Tribal Council. Who's going to advance?
Tim! Let's go!
Final Tribal Council!
Come on!
Tim, congratulations. You've earned your way into the final 3 of this game. We'll see you shortly at Final Tribal Council. Cameron, excellent effort this season, falling as close as you can to the final Tribal Council of this game. Congratulations.
I clearly did not think I would get this far, so I did not prepare for that. I've never lit a fire in my life, so it's good to know that I can. Dylan, I hate you, buddy.
Hi.
You're not getting my vote. Legs up!
The fact that I was able to do firemaking and win and actually get to the end, it means a lot to me. It means so much to me that I'm here, and the only thing I have left to do is do the absolute most I can to actually win. I've had such high highs and low lows this entire game. I did it, and now it's to the jury's hands. I never played scared for even 1 second. I've really maximized the social game, which is what I didn't do last time. I connected with the opposite tribe. It's crazy. I didn't think I was gonna cry, but man, it feels really good. If I win or lose, I feel like a winner. The thing I like is that we played two very different games.
Very different games.
So it depends on what the jury values.
Yeah. You, me, and Andy in the final three. That is like very specifically social, strategy, physical.
Oh, that's true.
It's literally outwit, outplay, outlast. I am most proud of the conversations that I had at the merge that I think set me up perfectly to get to this point. That is when I started anticipating that I would be sitting at Final Tribal Council. I learned who I am as a player and adapted. You know, I'm very proud of the game that I played. But I was really nervous coming into this. When I walked into the house and everybody was already here, I like felt 2 inches tall walking into the room. I like stood in the bathroom for like 5 minutes and just kind of like breathed for a second because I was like, what am I doing here? Like this, I'm just about to like make a fool of myself for 2 days. But I sort of like picked that confidence up. I'm really excited to share this with my wife Liz after this. She knows me better than anybody, and she knows I'm hard on myself. She'll see the moments where she knows that I'm also cringing, and she'll cringe too, like, oh geez, you really have to say that to that person?
No matter who the winner is at this point, I think that they will be worthy of that title.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that there's a single, like, which I think is a lovely thing to have for our season.
I want the jury to vote for who they want to vote for. Do I want to win? Absolutely. Do I think I played a winning game? I do. Do I think that I'm going to win? That's impossible to tell. I think I made a lot of good relationships. I was able to maintain a level of humor and good-naturedness, whether I win or I lose. But if I win, I hope that people will know that you can play that game. I fully believe if you take this too seriously, you are doing it wrong. Like, there's the perfect amount of serious to take it, and you should try and win. You should play hard. But you should also have fun. Like, do what makes you happy in the game. Because if you're not doing what makes you happy in the game, then what do you do? Like, why are you here? I'm going into Final Tribal without much of a speech prepared. I'm not writing anything down. I know myself. You know, I'm a stay-at-home dad now and a llama farmer. But before I was a llama farmer, I was an attorney. This season has been so epic in so many ways, I feel like. I think it's gonna be an electric Final Tribal Council.
everyone, welcome to the final Tribal Council of Survivor Branford Season 11. Dylan, Tim, Andy, congratulations. The three of you have gone as far as you can in this game, and it's now time to face your jury. 10 members of this season that you voted out either directly or indirectly, who now hold your fate in their hands. So the way that Final Tribal Council works is that each of the three of you will be given some time to make an opening statement. We'll then turn it over to the jury for an open discussion. Then we'll vote. So with that, Andy, I'm going to ask you first to give your opening statement.
All right. Hello, Jerry. Great to see you. Had a great weekend together. I think that my MO this entire game has been fun. I tried to make a personal connection with all of you. I feel like I've learned something about all of you, and I'm very proud to know all of you. I feel like my game has been a little mixed up. Actually, I'll do a demonstration. So my game has been like this napkin, right? It was just in pieces, right? It was mixed up, it was crazy, but then I'm hoping to show you over the course of this final Tribal Council how it will all come back. I'm looking forward to your questions. I can't wait to see what you have to say.
Okay, thank you, Andy. Tim, your opening statement.
I have to follow that. I echo the same sentiment that Andy did. This has been an incredible weekend, and I'm so thankful for everything. I just came in here wanting to have as much fun as possible and play the craziest game as possible, and I feel like I did everything I could to actually manage that. I feel like I went from being top dog in the pre-merge to being the ultimate underdog in this post-merge, and I just hope that you can see my game and ask me some questions if there's any doubts, and hopefully I will be crowned the sole survivor.
Okay, thank you, Tim. And finally, Dylan, can you give your opening statement?
All right. Hi, everybody. I think that I've been pretty transparent with you all about who I am and what my deal is this whole weekend. There are layers deeper than what we know. There's probably events that you don't know about that I'm excited to get into. I knew how this was going to play out, and I think I told each of you at every step of the way how this was going to play out. That it was going to come down to what group came into the merge with numbers, and that once we got to the merge and we didn't have the numbers, I went to all of you on the other team and I said, you're 5, we're 4, you're going to vote one of us out, then one of you's going to get a little itchy, and around 8 or 7 things are going to shake up. I knew from the final 9 on, I'd be sitting here.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Final Three, for your opening statements. We're now going to turn it over to the jury for an open forum. So whoever would like to get us started may go first.
Okay, well, I will start off for the jury and say congratulations to you three. Great job. My question is, a lot of your allies that are now on the jury made sacrifices or took risks for your benefit in this game. I want to hear about how you took a risk or made a sacrifice to benefit one of your allies. And for this question, I'm going to quote Dylan, what you said to me in the game. I don't need to hear from you. Maybe next time.
Deserved.
Andy, go ahead.
So at the final 5, I played that watch the vote, and I really didn't think in that moment that it was going to have much impact. Unfortunately, we were locked in on Kate. We're going to go three votes for Kate, but we also believe that Tim might have an idol. I watched him vote for Cameron, and in that moment I was like, oh, I can vote for Tim, and that protects us because now their votes are split. It was a risk. I really thought about giving up my individual immunity to Cameron in the final 4, and the reason I didn't do it is because, to me, I thought it was in Dylan's best interest to take Tim out. They've been working together. I feel regret that I did not step up for my ally.
My mind immediately jumps to the final 6 vote, where I had full information that the vote was going to potentially tie 3 votes on Kate and then 3 votes on Dylan. So Dylan, Andy, and Cameron came to me and said, let's do 4 and let's do Kate. But I really valued the relationship that I had with both John and with Kate, that I said, I don't care if I'm going to Rocks. My ally stuck up for me. I'm sticking up for my remaining allies, and I had no hesitation I was never betraying Kate. I got lucky there. I did, but I would do it again because I was sticking up for my allies.
Do any of you guys play instruments? No. So the social game is perhaps the most important part of this entire experience. Who do you guys think you played like a fiddle? Who fell right into your hand in a way that actually works to your advantage?
This is exposing, I think, what is what I feel is a weakness in my game. I didn't feel that I actually had anyone hook, line, and sinker. I definitely lied, like to Kate, to John. I was not truthful with them. But I also knew that they were had plans of their own. As much as I'd love to be a fiddler, I did not. I don't think that really I played anyone, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
The person I think I played like a fiddle was Dylan. Here's the thing. I'm not going to claim I manipulated Dylan into putting me into fire. What I think I did instead was manipulate the situation. I made Dylan into a threat, in such a threat that he was willing to throw somebody into fire. I was drunk dead. I really expected to go home, and I probably should have gone home, but I manipulated the situation, and I manipulated Dylan in order to make that situation happen.
I don't feel like I have strings on me. I don't feel like I was played like a fiddle. I think that at that point, I made the decision to send Cameron to fire, regardless of whoever you were or whoever she was. I wanted to take power back. I wanted to end the game on me making a key decision. It had nothing to do with, you didn't say anything to me. I came up to you and I said, I'll put you to fire. You didn't ask me for anything. I just told you that's what I was gonna do. So, as for who I played like a fiddle, I do think that when I go to everybody on the Not Meg tribe at the merge and start to explain, here's how this is gonna go down, and I sort of see like the eyes soften a little bit, the shoulders lean back a little bit, and let you guys know, I'm not gonna waste your time at the merge. Like, there's a lot to figure out. It's gonna be one of the four of us. Let me know when it's time. And that's precisely what happened. I think because of those bonds and those connections and just being sort of direct with people in that way, I felt very certain about where I stood with people.
Question for you. There's gonna be a scene between us where I say, you have quite a lot of power right now, and that was an accurate read on the situation at the final 7. I just want to know why you chose the route that you chose.
Yeah, to be very honest with you, it just came down to so John was the other name that round. I just really wanted to work with John. It was not anything directed to you. It was solely a matter of, well, if these are the two options, I'm going to try to keep John. That's all that it was that round.
If you voted out Sarah Elizabeth because you wanted to work with John, why did you then target John and Kate?
I didn't target John. I never went after John.
My initial perception was that, Tim, you were the swing vote, but I wanted to get yours and Andrew's takes on what was going on.
You know, we just started a fresh day. I think that over the evening, I had kind of tried to figure out what the best path forward for me was. Taking these two out was an option, but it didn't seem the option that you and Kate wanted to go with, and that was scary to me. And also, I viewed you as a huge threat. I wish I could bottle your charisma. You were definitely the big glue that I feel like in a lot of ways held us together. But as soon as I saw that was coming apart, I felt like we didn't need the glue anymore.
That's for Tim.
I do feel like Dylan and I did kind of work together as the swing votes for that round. Once we got to day 2, it did kind of open, and I feel like him and I did work together in tandem on that. I decided to keep my options open.
Curious, what do you think was your biggest game move that propelled you yourself forward in the game?
For me, I think it was pretty easy at the final 6, and standing firm on not shifting my boat and putting my foot down of this is what I want to happen now. What I wanted to happen, which it was you going out, right? But I wanted that to happen, or to have a 66.6 on repeating chance of someone else who had not voted with me the last time going out. And so those odds to me those are really high odds. Like, you take those odds all day. That is, I think, part of why I'm here, is because I stood up in that moment and would not budge.
I think my strongest game move was surviving the final 9 round and surviving the final 8 round. I can't take full credit for that. Sarah was the one that saved me and played the idol on me, and then I needed that challenge advantage in order to actually last and make it to day 2. And that's when the game really broke open. So I think building a great working relationship with Sarah was my biggest move in this game.
I mean, I'll talk about an early one, which I think is a little cheesy of these because most of you weren't there for it, but I kind of think of like the Jimmy vote I take a lot of responsibility for. I saw Jimmy pocket what we both thought was an idol, and I notified the rest of the team. I sort of, from my perspective, was rallying the troops to navigate a 3-2-2 vote split to make sure that if he plays the idol and it's real, that we have a backup plan. And then, you know, Jimmy, I got my karma because then I got busted finding an idol and I had to burn it, so it kind of...
Andy, I know you came wanting to win, played like you wanted to win. Tim, you came like you wanted to win, played like you wanted to win. Dylan, you came like you wanted to finish in 3rd place. You even basically stated that you brought who I would assume you would perceive as a bigger threat to win at the end. Mm-hmm. Were you playing to win, or were you playing you wanted your friend to win?
My perception of Tim is that he is a very skilled player, but I think that I saw where like some of the loose threads were. We had a couple of conversations where I felt like in particular I saw the holes when he came to me to try to pitch, you know, Kate's gonna vote for you, but we should pull something together. And I looked at him and said, so you want me to do something with you, me, and this person who you're telling me is gonna vote for me a second time? My hands are tied here, there's nothing for me to do. So it really came down to me that I had a much clearer picture of how I perceived Tim's game than what I got of either Andy or Cameron's games. For this particular move of trying to get Tim into the final tribal council, it was just about wanting somebody sitting next to me that I think that I can speak to and whose game actually does contrast with mine. I think that Tim stayed more top dog initially and then really just rode it through as an underdog, and I do think that I had a little bit more of doing well, doing not so well, and then rebounding.
I think a lot of times we focus a lot on the post-merge because that's where a lot of the energy goes. Mm-hmm. That's where all the individual challenges happen. That's when a lot of us get to hang out with each other and talk to each other, right? I just want to know what moves you guys all made in the pre-merge that set you up for success in the post-merge.
I think what I had to learn about myself during this, you're not buying this. Okay, I'll say it to the rest of them. I did make the decision that I was going to play the idol because I thought, I want to reset here. I want to say, we're getting rid of this. We're back on equal footing with everything. I want to have a reset. I think especially coming after the Jimmy vote where I feel like I came in kind of hot, I did kind of want to have like a, oops, I did something dumb on the next one, to sort of lower the temperature a little bit. I know that sounds like the BS answer of like, actually the bad stuff was good, but that was what I was trying to maneuver.
I think my biggest goal of the pre-merge was to have options. I wanted to be everybody's top 3 person. I didn't need to be everyone's number 1, but I wanted to have options and sway within the tribe. And I was a little bit nervous as a returning player entering the tribe. And I feel like I got lucky with my tribe where that wasn't really much of a perception. And so I wanted to develop really good individual relationships with everybody on my starting tribe. It gave me a lot of options throughout the entire pre-merge.
I think that, yeah, the word insulation is really key to what you do in a pre-merge. I think I had a good working relationship with every single person on my tribe. I wouldn't throw out names because I didn't want, one, to create division in the tribe, and I didn't want it to ever come back to me. And I think that there's this tendency to want to have a plan before you need a plan. I have this philosophy that it's much easier to be nice than it is to pretend to be nice. And I think another thing that I did pre-merge, I didn't step into the admiral role. Whenever there was a hero moment in a challenge, that is where I wanted to be. That can be a dangerous position, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to have my tribe win.
So, first off, I want to say congratulations to the 3 of you. And I want to take a second to wave my flag to you. Can you speak to your jury management?
Were you just getting through each vote, trying to get to the next round, or were you consciously doing jury management? Who you thought in the jury maybe you were going to be impressing or pulling in with your moves, who you were willing to maybe lose a vote from. I want to know how strong jury management was in your game.
Jury management was not something I really thought of very much. My goal was to just have really good relationships with people and let my game speak for itself. I didn't feel as though I needed to treat anyone a specific way on the way out.
Jury management was less of an active part of my game. As good as I felt about my position, I was like, okay, but surely they're gonna get me. So, it's the bad answer, but it's the true answer, is I was not so focused on jury management so much as I was focused on each round as it came. A couple of people have informed me that I won't be getting their votes, and it's deserved. So like I look at this as if the game I play is not the winning game, then this is the comeuppance I get. And if swapping between Chillin' Dylan and Dylan the villain did not resonate with people, then that's the outcome that it is, that's the way that it's intended to be. So that's what I'll say about jury management.
I feel like the jury, you're all, like, it's a fickle thing, right? You all have different criteria for what you're going to vote for. You all have different things you're going to like in a winner. And at the end of the day, I feel like you're all going to vote for who you want to win, probably over who you think should win. I could try and guess lightly at what you might want to see in a winner. That's a hard guess. And so instead, I just tried to at least have like a working relationship with everyone and hope that that was enough.
Here's the thing, at the final 9 round,
Yep.
I was the one that received the majority of the votes. But yet you and I never even spoke that round. And so if I was sitting on the jury there, how do you think I would have felt? Now I'm wondering, is there credibility to your statement? Or am I the exception?
Well, the final 9 was the merge vote, right?
Yeah.
That's the craziest vote. Everyone was trying to get their ducks in a row. One relationship not coming together, to me, is not as important as making sure the group that I was working with was going to move forward in the way that I wanted.
You're saying that of course you build genuine relationships, like everyone loves you and you're really nice, you're very nice. But I'm just curious, like, do you think that you would have gotten as far if you didn't win all those immunities in a row?
I don't think so, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what my threat level was perceived as. The tie vote, the vote turns around and my name comes up twice. That makes me think that there was at least an inkling that I was a threat. And winning 1, that threat level goes up. Winning 2, that threat level goes up. So at each stage, it felt more, it felt more important to win. The other part of winning isn't always you're safe, it's also who's not safe. And winning for me sometimes was taking that win away from other people.
I have a question for Tim.
Yes.
All through the pre-merge game, including the merge vote, and the one after that where you were willed an advantage from Sarah, and that advantage then ultimately allowed you to win and kept you safe, it appears that Sarah picked you up in a baby carrier and carried you through to that point and got you there.
Yeah.
Were you directing Sarah, or was Sarah directing you?
Neither. It was an equal partnership, and she's agreeing with me.
Can you give examples of like where your ideas were come to fruition and they were not Sarah's ideas?
Let's see. I think something that comes to mind is developing who we wanted to work with long term. I think that was a very open, honest conversation about who do we like in this tribe and who do we want to go forward with.
So no direct strategy, just like developing relationships in groups. There was no strategy that was really your
I think that
idea.
is strategy.
So no votes for your ideas, no moves for your ideas.
I don't know why you keep saying none of these were my ideas. These were partnerships. We worked together on it. And
Who had the idea?
Well, it was both of us. I don't know.
We both at the same time said, let's vote for this person.
We just discussed openly about what we wanted to do.
I would like to add to this. The
Yeah.
Quinn vote that happened.
She'll answer for you.
No. I was the Quinn vote that happened
Yeah.
was Tim deciding it.
Thank you for articulating the answer for Tim.
I mean, it's not always black and white. It's this move versus that move. Sometimes people work together.
I mean, you said you wanted to gain power again, make one last final control move. I just wanted a little more color.
That decision squarely was for me that I felt that I would be in a worse position coming before the jury, looking like the underdog that got dragged along by the two of you. And that I felt like I needed to have something where even if you ended up winning, that at least they could say, oh, well, Dylan took a swing for it, and he took a risk in putting the two of you to fire. I need to plant my flag.
And I see that, and I totally, feel that. I'm curious and this is going for each of you. I want to hear a little bit of details. The two people you're sitting next to, who do you think is the bigger threat to you?
Dylan is the bigger threat to me. I think Dylan played a very socially savvy game, and I think he should be really proud of his game. The part that I maybe am still not understanding is the final three with Cameron instead. I would have felt very strongly about voting for you, and I think a lot of the jury may agree with that, because I think you played a really strong game. I just ultimately feel as though Andy played a little bit more of the physical game. I didn't really see any like pure strategic vote pushing from him.
My perception is that Andy's the bigger threat because I think of the lines of our game. I see like top dog, underdog, and I do see myself sort of like, and hopefully ending up here.
Coming into this, I felt as if Dylan may have been the bigger threat to my game, but in this moment, I'm seeing it actually as Tim is probably, from what I'm getting from you all, the person who's standing in my way.
I'll question Dylan. I have a question on your loyalty.
Is there any?
After I lost the challenge against Tim, my first statement to you was, let's try to swing this vote and make this me, you, and Tim making it. So to hear you say that and describe that, I mean, I just question your loyalty to not just me, but everyone else in this juror.
You played that round very selflessly. You did the exact opposite of what I did. You rallied and tried to make something happen, and my perception was that it wasn't going to happen. I did let you know that it was between you and me. The Nutmeg tribe made it very clear that, look, Dylan, like, you got to put the vote on Kevin. I do consider that to be my sort of self-preservation mode. I regret that I wasn't able to make something work for the two of us, but I did recognize when it was time to hit the eject button. It was important to me to let you know directly what was happening.
All of these questions have been exceptionally gamey, which is cool as like a big Survivor fan. Like the thing that's really stuck with me is like the feelings of genuine connection with people, and and like I just want to know like any moments that you had where you felt like genuinely connected with someone like outside of the game.
I love the question. When I showed up at the house right before the game starts and everybody's coming in, I think this is gonna be one of those moments like stays with me in life. I walked into the house and I saw everybody here and I felt 2 inches tall. I'm the new kid in high school. It came like crashing back. The kind of advice I came back to was be vulnerable and like let myself feel those connections with people. And I did feel the warmth from a lot of you.
I'm probably gonna cry in this answer, but the relationship I had with Zara meant so much to me. Just to have such a good friend and ally. Unintentionally, she gave up her game for me, and that means so much to me. Just to have a friend like that, and to give credit to Dylan, him putting me into fire, it meant so much to me because he told me he knows how much it means to me, and if it's a game move, that's okay. But that was, for me, that was a very human thing.
I actually felt like I had a genuine connection with every single person. That's what this experience is for me, is trying to come away with personal connections. Whatever happens, we have done this together, right? We are this season of Survivor Branford.
I have one question to end on a lighter note. Me personally, my goal, and I said it when we were on the mat, like minute 1, was to just play with house money, see what happens. I really tried to maximize my time for however long that was going to be, and like truly have fun. This was probably one of the better weekends of my entire life. Like I had a really great time. I just want to ask what your funnest moment was, like for any criteria at all, but I really want to know why.
The moment, I think, when I was the prisoner and I was tied to the chair
by myself.
I had so much fun. I like got behind the bars and I was in jail and like spinning my cup. I like Kevin interrogating me, then feeding me chips. Like that was like the moment that really stuck out to me as like just a silly, fun, sick.
I think there's 2 things that come to mind. Like the first one is just like the genuine excitement I get with like working with people. I'm like, oh my god, we have a plan. We're gonna work together. This is so exciting. I have been very outwardly emotional during the game of like yelling during challenges or celebrating huge, and I think it's been pretty obvious. Even with the good and the bad, I'm still like, there's nothing, no place I'd rather be.
Most fun part for me of all of this was just hanging out with all of these people. The things after that were stressful and crazy.
You had a silly demeanor.
I think that's what I'll like treasure most about this is like meeting a bunch of cool people, like regardless of outcomes.
Okay, final three, thank you for all that you had to say at this tribal council. Jury, very much appreciate all of your questions and pushback towards what the final three was saying. All that's left to do now is make a final vote of this game. As a reminder, you're voting for the winner of the season of Survivor Branford 11. And with that, Kevin, we'll have you vote first.
I'm so happy to be casting a vote for you. It gives me a great amount of joy to do this. This would be like the second time that like my main ally wins. And I absolutely love it. I hope it happens.
Thank you for an amazing season of Survivor Branford. My responsibilities end right now in reading these votes. You all are looking to see your names. And with that, let's get to it. First vote, Andy. Tim. One vote Tim, one vote Andy. Dylan. That's one vote Tim, one vote Andy, one vote Dylan. Andy, 2 votes Andy, 1 vote Tim, 1 vote Dylan. Andy, that's 3 votes Andy, 1 vote Tim, 1 vote Dylan. Andy, 4 votes Andy, 1 vote Tim, 1 vote Dylan. Tim, 2 votes Tim, 4 votes Andy, 1 vote Dylan. Tim, that's 3 votes Tim, 4 votes Andy, 1 vote Dylan. Tim, 4 votes Tim, 4 votes Andy, 1 vote Dylan, and 1 vote left. And the winner of Survivor Branford Season 11.
Thank you for everything. This is a dream come true.